All right, everybody, let's go ahead and begin. We'll begin on our backs today. So just lay on your back. Good. Place your right hand over your belly, the left hand over your heart. Place the soles of your feet together and let the knees fall open as long as your knees allow you to do that. And before we do anything, let's do nothing. Good. Go ahead and take a nice big inhale through the nose. Fill it up. Hold your breath in. And then open your mouth. Let it go. Let's do it again. This time a little deeper inhale through the nose. Hold and pause at the very top. And then this time as you let go, exhale all the air out. Let it go. Until there's nothing left in there. Good. And then shifting into your own breathing pattern in and out of the nose. Go ahead and reach out and hug the knees into your chest. Good. Keep the right knee hugged in. Extend your left leg forward. Flex your feet, point your toes back, and interlace the fingers behind your head. Good. Start to pull the nose up to your right knee. So you're feeling a nice little core activation, a little engagement of the core. Good. Go ahead and reach your arms forward, just so you're framing that right foot without touching it, to see if you can reach your hands past your right foot. Good. So it's a combination of pulling that right knee in and reaching forward. Good. And then from here, go ahead and reach your arms straight up above you. And try to get your elbows a little bit above your right knee. So it's kind of like you're getting into a kind of a little tiny little ball of energy. Good. Just for 3 counts, lift a little higher. Good. For 2, maybe a little higher. And then 1 more. Release. Hug the knees into your chest. You're just warming up here. Straighten the right leg forward. Flex your feet. Point your toes back. Pull the nose up to your left knee. Feel the stretch. And then interlace the fingers behind your head. Now again, you notice that you could press into the back of your head, but that won't really help. Use your core. And then reach your arms forward. And frame your left foot. Really feel that knee get closer into your nose. And I know if you have longer arms here, it's a little more advantageous to get your fingers past the foot, but either way. Good. Extend both arms straight up. And see if you can lift a little bit higher than that left knee. Good. That's it. A little bit higher for 3. A little more for 2. 1 more little burst of energy. And then release. Hug the knees into your chest. Good. Nice job. Go ahead and grab the backs of your legs. Start to rock and roll your way back and forth, back and forth. And get some momentum going. Eventually we'll meet in downward facing dog. Plant the palms down. Step the feet back. And lift your hips high. Good. Just making sure those hands are shoulder width apart. Feet are hips width apart. Heels sink low. Good. So you're pressing the hands down and forwards. So that way you can drag the hips back and up. Good. Notice if the legs are tight, you might keep a little bend in the knees. That's perfectly fine. And it's still plugged into your breathing. So it's that focus, that concentration that really will allow you to eventually find meditation, whether it's in the practice or after. Good. Kind of the concentration and focus can really start to separate this practice away from other physical activities. And that's where the breath comes into play. We're focusing on the breath. So it's just a tool that allows you to, not to mention that it feels good just to breathe. Good. From here, slide forward to plank position. Remember, you can set the knees down here. So chaturanga is this tricky pose. You want to bend the elbows here, lower halfway, and graze the elbows with the ribs. And then press straight up to plank position, downward facing dog. Good. And so oftentimes I'll see people that need to set their knees down, but they see other people that don't, so they think they don't need to, but their elbows are bowing out to the side, they're pinching their lower back. You will build strength with the knees down. So again, we'll try it again. Slide forward to plank, knees down or not. Bend the elbows, shave the ribs with the elbows. Press straight up to plank, downward facing dog. Nice job. 1 more time. Inhale, slide forward, plank. Bend the elbows, lower halfway. Press up, plank pose. Downward facing dog. Exhale. Go ahead and unplug your hands. Crawl them to the back of the mat. We'll take a real simple forward fold. Once you get back towards the toes, grab your opposite elbows. Just kind of hang out. Now, you're like the branches of a tree with your torso. Just kind of going wherever the wind allows you to go. And using this as an opportunity. That's all this practice really is one giant opportunity with a whole bunch of little opportunities within that big opportunity. So for whatever you need, you're the doctor, you decide. Sometimes you need to plug into the breath a little more. No, you're just listening closely and developing a more intimate relationship with your body. Go ahead and take your elbows in the opposite way that you're grabbing them now. It feels a little bit different, but you're still very much in that forward fold, finding the zone or staying in it if you're already there. Good. Very nice. And then go ahead and release your hands down. And return back to downward facing dog, crawling the fingers out to the top of the mat. Good. Slide back into plank position on the inhale. And then slowly, gradually lower all the way down to your belly as you exhale. Go ahead and reach your arms all the way out in front of you like you're about to karate chop the floor. Yeah, like a block's width between the hands. And lift your right foot off the ground, let's say 6 inches. Lift your left hand off the ground 6 inches. And get longer. See if you can roll your inner right thigh up. So the pinky's rolling down. And then lift your head without looking forward. So you're looking down, but you're lifting your head. Nice. So take one more inhale here, and then switch. Right foot, left hand down, left foot, right arm up. And again, see if you can get longer in the back of your neck, but lift your forehead off the ground. Nice. Go get a little longer. Take one last breath. Set everything down. Lift everything off the ground. Hands, both feet, both legs. Just take 3 breaths. Don't worry about lifting too high. I'd rather you get longer than taller for 2. Good. Keep your legs up in 1. Bring your thumbs by your upper ribs. Pull the elbows in. So both legs are up for this first little baby cobra. Good. You can't go too high in little baby cobra. Inhale, roll the shoulders back, lift the heart. And then exhale, chin down, keep the legs up. Good. Another one of those. Inhale, small baby, adolescent cobra maybe. Exhale, chin to the ground. One more just like that. Inhale, keep the legs up, roll the shoulders back and lift. Exhale, chin down. Now set both feet down and come up a little higher with the hands. Cobra inhale, a little more open, a little more height. Exhale, chin to the ground. Curl the toes under. As you inhale, press straight up to plank position, elbows in. Downward facing dog, exhale again. Let's see if you can access your shoulders by pressing your thumb and your index fingers into the floor a little bit more. And as you access the shoulders, roll the shoulders away from the ears ever so slightly. Triceps rolling down, biceps rolling up. A nice job. From here, think those arms are so strong, it is almost like you could prop into a handstand from here. Good. From here, take an inhale, bend the knees, look forward, step or hop to the top of the mat, please. Hands to shins or fingers on floor flat back. Inhale. Fold in as you exhale. 2 more just like that, warming up the spine. Inhale, find length. Fold in as you exhale. It's a small but important movement. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana, flatten that spine. Exhale, fold in. This time, press the feet down to stand up. Sweep your arms up and over your head. And then pull the hands to the heart center. Exhale. So let's do that again. Inhale, sweep and reach. Arms rise. Keep moving. Forward fold as you exhale. Dipping, hinging, and grooving. Inhale, flat spine, lengthen out. And then step or maybe hop the feet back. Lower down. Remember, elbows in. So that nice chaturanga form. Cobra inhale, maybe upward facing dog if you know it, thighs off the floor. And then downward facing dog, exhale. Good. Yeah, so sometimes I see people rush through these vinyasas. I always want to just hit the slow motion button, trying to get them to slow down, especially when you lower slow. Really build that strength. Remember, knees down if you need to. Otherwise, let's do one more like that. We'll add some more after that. Inhale, lift the hips and bend the knees. Step or lightly hop to the top of the mat, please. Inhale, flat spine. Fold in, exhale, stand up. Sweep your arms over the head. And then hands to the heart center. Exhale, do it again. Inhale, sweep and reach. Forward fold, exhale, hinge at the waist. Inhale, flat spine, create space. And then step or hop the feet back, lower down at your own pace. And cobra inhale, move diligently. Downward facing dog, exhale gracefully. We'll start to up the momentum a little bit more. Slide forward to plank position. Inhale, lift your right toes off the floor. Yeah, if it's too much, skip it and hold plank. It's already strong as it is. But if you have the toes off the ground, right knee, right elbow, squeeze it over there. Just hold it for a few breaths. Notice it's temporary. You're not going to hold it for long. Just get a little warmer in the core. That's all. So keep the shoulders over the wrists, right leg back. Set the toes down and switch. Left toes up. Left knee, left elbow. Notice you're not dumping into the wrist. You're pressing the floor away from you. Good. It doesn't matter if you make contact onto the elbow or not. You're just feeling the obliques wake up. Good. Stay in plank, left leg back. Set the toes down. Big inhale here. Lower slow. Exhale. Good. Inhale, open that chest, lifting that heart. And then downward facing dog. Exhale, right back to the start. Good. Moving on. Inhale, lift your hips and bend your knees. Step or lightly hop to the top of the mat, please. Inhale, flatten the spine. Fold in as you exhale. Stand up again. Sweep your arms to the sky. Warming up. Hands to the heart center. Exhale, like you're dancing with your breath. Inhale, sweep and reach. Arms rise. Forward fold. Exhale. Torso lays out and over the thigh. Inhale, flat spine, fingertips or shins. Step or hop the feet back. Lower down. Keep both elbows in. Good. Cobra. Inhale, open that chest again. Downward facing dog. Exhale. Steady breath. Steady mind. Then one more time, slide forward to plank pose. Maybe lift your right toes. This time across the body to the left elbow. Doesn't have to touch, but maybe it does. Either way, the tension's in your core, not your face. Good. Stay in plank, right leg back. Set the toes on the floor. Switch toes. Lift the left toes. Left knee, right elbow across the body. Feel the core strength. Notice it's uncomfortable, but you're okay with that. Good. Left leg back. Set the toes down. Big inhale here. Lower down, slow. Exhale. Cobra inhale, spread the collarbone wide. Downward facing dog. Exhale, take a nice look inside. And we will move on from that. Good. Big inhale through the nose, everybody. Open the mouth, let it go. Inhale, wind your hips back, bend your knees. Step or spring to the top of the mat, please. Inhale, flat spine. Good. Fold in as you exhale, chair pose. Bend the knees, squat low, reach high. Pause here. Good. Weights in the heels. You could even lift your toes off the ground. You want to strengthen the arches of the feet. Always thinking about that. I remember when I practiced yoga to begin, I didn't have any arches in my feet. Now I have like ballerina feet up in here. Good. Draw that belly in. Think down dog with your arms minus the hands. Good. Take one more inhale. Stand up. Hands to the heart center as you exhale. Good. From here, go ahead and reach down and hug your left knee into your chest. And just find a little stretch. Notice you're not leaning back here, so you're leaning almost forward. And then bring the hands to your hips. Good. Straighten the left leg forward. Don't worry about how high you lift it. Put a little bend in the standing knee. Without opening the hip or closing the hip, come back to warrior three. Kick the leg back. You're balancing on that right leg only. Lay the torso forward. You could bring the arms where you want to. I would keep mine on my hips because we're going to go through this a few times. Without externally or internally rotating from the hip, come all the way back up. Slowly, try not to set the left foot down. Extend the left leg forward. As soon as you get up there, swing it back, warrior three. Good. As soon as you get to that full extension, come back up. Extend the left leg forward. Good. 2 more times. Just like a teeter-totter. Hinge at the waist. Kick it back. Pull the heart forward. Stretch the left leg back. Good. 1 more time. Come all the way forward. Find the extension. Lots of focus, concentration. And then last warrior three. Kick the left leg back. This time, if your lower back allows you to reach the arms forward, do that. Take a big, deep inhale here. Drop both hands down to the ground. Keep your left leg in the air. Good. Crawl the hands a little closer to your right toes. And then check out your left toes. Make sure they're pointing down, not to the side wall. Good. You know what? The most accurate description that you could sum up of yoga to me is really just observing things accurately. So that's all you're really doing right now, just observing things accurately. You're stretching that right hamstring. You're noticing if you're picking the lint off the mat. You're noticing what's necessary, what's unnecessary. Accurate would be the key word. Take 1 more inhale here. Feet together, top of the mat, exhale. Inhale, flat spine, lengthen that chest out. Fold in as you exhale, squat down. Chair pose, bend your knees. Pull the lower belly in, please. Good. And weights in the heels. Again, strengthen the arches of your feet. Good. Remember, it's like the handstand arms minus the palms. Good. Take 1 last inhale. Stand up, hands where the heart is. Exhale. Now we'll shift into the left foot. Lift the right leg off the ground. Squeeze the right knee into the chest. And just find a little bit of balance. Instead of tilting back, tilt forward. Good. Bring the hands to the hips. And then straighten the leg out. Good. Take an inhale. Bend the standing knee to help you glide back into that warrior three airplane pose, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, keep hands on hips or whatever you'd like. And then come all back the way back up. Straighten that right leg out. Good. Again, we're trying not to swivel the hips. Right leg back. Extension. Pull that heart forward. Good, hips closed. Come all the way back up and extend your right leg out. Full extension. Good, you're like surfing a wave. Right leg back, catch the wave. The wave is your left leg. Pull the heart forward. You got to nosedive sometimes in order to catch it. Come all the way back up. Right leg forward. Kick it straight out. Nice job. Last time, warrior three. Kick it back there. Take your time. If you have the capacity today to reach your arms forward, do that. Take a big inhale here. Drop both hands down to the floor. Exhale. And then crawl the hands in a little closer to the toes. You know, standing split can go in a lot of different directions. But right now, you're just getting that nice hamstring loose. Just warming up, just the tip of the iceberg. See if you can relax your neck. Again, observe things accurately. You're not here to judge the things you observe. You're just here to be truthful. Good, take one last inhale here. Feet together, top of the mat as you exhale. Inhale, flat spine, lengthen out. And then step or hop the feet back and lower down. Remember, nice and slow. Cobra, inhale, feel the control. You got it. Downward facing dog as you exhale. Once you get back to down dog, now you're going to squeeze the right knee into your chest. Feel the power and the strength, shoulders over the wrists. Light as a feather, can you step the right foot through between the hands? Good, come up to your fingertips, pull your heart forward, stay on your back toes. Now let the right hip sink low, but don't let your right knee get past your right heel. Now reach your arms down by your sides, parallel to the floor. See how flat you can make your back. And consider your neck part of your back. So the chin draws a little closer to the throat, the lower belly lifts, and you're actually feeling friction with your inner thighs squeezing in towards each other. Good, nice job. Lightly set your left hand on the ground inside of your right foot, reach your right arm up. So you're kind of going to stack those shoulders on top, but I'd be more concerned about my left hip right here. I would try to keep my left hip even with my right. Sometimes the ego loves to flail that right chest open, but you know, if you're honest with yourself, usually it doesn't open quite as much if you lift your left hip a little higher. Good, take one more inhale here. Bring the right hand down to the ground. Step the right leg back. Lower slowly and sweetly. Good, inhale, open that heart freely. Good, downward facing dog, exhaling. Once you get back to down dog, just squeeze the left knee into the chest. Hold it there, shoulders over wrist. You can start to curl and round the shoulders, maybe even press onto the right toes and come up to the left fingertips to help you step the left foot through. Top of the mat. Stay on the back toes. Climb up to your fingertips. Find extension. The right leg should be straight. The heart should pull forward. The knees over the heel. When you're ready, reach your arms down by your sides. Good. And there's a little bit of cobra in the spine, but if you overdo the cobra, then your back's no longer flat. So you got to pull the belly in to flatten it out. Good. Inner thigh squeeze. Feel a little friction there. And then notice you're still but not stagnant. The breath is very flow. Good, one last inhale here, right hand down to the floor, fingertips, palm, maybe a block, reach your left arm straight up. And as you roll the left chest open, just kind of make sure it's not at the expense of dropping your right hip down, because it's not necessarily wrong to drop your right hip down, but it's definitely more right if you don't. Good, take one last inhale here, bring the left hand down to the floor, shoot the left leg back, lower slow, elbows in, graze the ribs. Cobra inhale, pull the chest open again. Downward facing dog, pull the hips to the sky. And breathe. Good. Inhale, lift the hips and bend the knees. Step or lightly hop to the top of the mat, please. Inhale, flatten the spine. Good. Fold in as you exhale. Chair pose, bend the knees, squat down, reach up. And then stand up, hands to the heart center. Right back to chair pose. One breath, inhale. Forward fold as you exhale, straight legs. Inhale, flat spine, lengthen out, and then step or hop the feet back and lower down with integrity. Good, inhale, open that chest and heart sensitively. Exhale, press back, down dog gradually, and then step your right foot through, top of the mat. Go ahead and hold there. Spin your back foot flat, heel to heel alignment, so maybe walk the right foot 2 inches to the right, and then reach your arms down by your sides once again. Everything you need to know about Warrior One happens before you ever get up there. Feel the back leg strong, outer right hip pull in. Move from your back leg and right hip, come all the way back up for Warrior One. Reach your arms up. Now notice if you're really reaching your arms high, sometimes there's a tendency to stick those ribs out. Draw the upper ribs in. Good. Tailbone draws down. You'll feel a nice stretch on that inner left thigh if you draw the tail down. Good, perfect. Take the hands behind the back, interlace the fingers. Inhale, pull the chest open, first shoulder stretch, fold inside of your right leg. As you exhale, drop your head. Good, and as you kind of do this, it's still same warrior one legs, but some of us with a bigger shoulders kind of stick that right butt out a little on accident. Keep pulling that right hip in a little more. Good, at the same time, are you soft in the neck? Soft where you need to be, strong where you need to be, using efficiency. Good, nice job. Just release both hands down to the ground. Step back to plank position. Hold that. Lower your forearms down to the ground one by one. So when you lower the forearms down, it's basically plank pose, but you're on the forearms. It takes more shoulder strength, and it takes a little more core strength. It takes a little more tolerance is what it comes down to. So pull the heart forward slightly, draw the tailbone low. Know that you can always set the knees down, and feel the chaturanga muscles here. You're pulling the elbows in tight to the body. You might even start to tremble. That's okay. That's a good sign. Your body is downloading new information. That's what trembling means. Good. Nice and steady. When you're ready, come back to plank pose. One palm at a time. Good. Take a juicy inhale, top of plank, and then downward facing dog. Exhale. Step your left foot through, top of the mat. Spin your back foot flat, warrior one. So remember, arms down by the sides, power through the back leg, and come all the way up. Good. So assuming that you remember what we did on the other side. Remember, you're not sticking the ribs out here. So there's a real tendency as you come up to warrior one to want to bow those ribs out. Soften the upper ribs in and draw the tailbone down. Good. Once you feel like you have that, take your hands behind your back. As you interlace the fingers, try the opposite thumb on top. Inhale, pull the chest open, and then take your time to fold inside of your left leg. With a little bit of devotion. Now, they do call this one humble warrior. So there's a little bit of humility that's required to do this pose. And kind of taking a little bow to all the yogis amongst us today. Maybe the yogis who were in the past and the future yogis as well. Nicely done. Drop the hands down to the ground. Step the left leg back. Come back into forearm plank. Forearms down to the ground one by one. Notice if you're reactive when you do it. We're trying not to be reactive during yoga. Now you can save the reactiveness for when you leave here and you get in the parking structure. But for now, we're trying to calm the nerves, even in a strong pose like this. Good. Good, steady breath, steady mind. Good, nice job. One palm by one palm, come up to plank pose. Nice job. Big inhale, juicy one. Downward facing dog. Exhale, unplug the hands, crawl them to the back of the mat. So you're in a pretty sweet forward fold. I like my feet at least hips width or even shoulder width apart here. Take your first two fingers, peace fingers, hook the big toes, inhale, flat spine, look out, fold in as you exhale, melt in. Just following the process here. So often I get people in my classes that are new, and they come up and they ask me the silliest questions after class. They're like, I want to do scorpion pose. And I'm like, can you do downward facing dog yet? And they're like, oh, no. It's very much a procedure, an equation that we're trying to follow. You got to do step 1 before you do step 10. And there's a sweetness in every pose that we do. You just got to find it. Sometimes you'll find the sourness first, but the more consistently you practice, they actually start to taste pretty sweet, even the sour spots. And from here, release the toes. Bring your hands to your hips. Lead with your heart. Keep that little bend in the knees and come all the way up to standing. Good, nice job. Go ahead and step your right leg to the front of the mat. Spin your back foot flat. We're going to come into warrior 2. Bend the right knee, open the arms. Good, so now it's right heel to arch of your left foot alignment. So it's similar, but the right foot's over to the left a few more inches than it was. Yeah, don't be shy here. Get a really nice deep stance here. You'll feel a better stretch that way. Good, and just kind of be calm as you hold the pose. Now we're starting to get into the meat and potatoes of what we were going to do today, or the tofu and asparagus, depending on however you look at it. Good. So just kind of hold the pose. Be okay with it. The stronger it gets, the stronger you get. The left chest opens nice and wide. Shoulders relax best to your ability. The eyes control your energy, so you choose where you want to place those eyes. Sometimes I can't control my eyes when they're open sometimes, so I just close them. It's a lot easier to control them then. Make sure your back leg's really strong, straight. Feel the power generate from the back leg. See if you can soften the upper ribs in. Same as we did in that warrior one. Soften here. Good. Draw down here. Nice. Good. And then place your right forearm on your right thigh. Reach your left arm straight up to the sky. Good. From here, extend your left arm over the left ear, only moving your left arm. And notice how straight your left arm is. Yeah. So actually, the straighter that left, some people can't actually straighten their arms, so it actually doesn't apply to them. But if you can straighten that left elbow without hyperextending it, you'll feel a better stretch along the side body. Similarly with the left leg, the straighter it gets without locking it, stealing the outer edge of the left foot down, you'll feel the same thing. Good, reach your left arm up. Now very slowly, without straightening anything here, press up to warrior two. Good, turn your right palm up as you inhale, reverse warrior, pull through the side body, legs still the same. Take 3 breaths, enjoy this. Use that straight right arm to find your stretch. Good, really reach for the back wall. Good, take one last inhale here. Now both hands down to the ground as you exhale, step the right leg back, take that skillful vinyasa. Remember, enjoy lowering slow, build strength. Inhale, open that heart and chest, find length. Downward facing dog, exhaling. Good. Nice job. And then from here, unplug the hands one more time. Crawl them to the back of the mat. We're going to lift the toes off the ground this time and slide the hands all the way underneath the feet. So it's a little more about the hands, a little less about the legs. But if you do it pretty easily, you can make it about the legs if you want to. You can straighten the legs. Personally, I keep a nice bend in my knees. I'm never forcing anything in my hamstrings and low back. I used to force things when I was a little younger, and I used to injure myself a lot too. Sometimes the best teacher is an injury. It's unfortunate, but it'll teach you how to work a little more cautiously, a little more mindful. Good, nice job. Bring the hands to the hips, take your time. Lead with the heart, little bend in the knees, flat spine all the way up to standing. And we'll switch sides. Step the left leg forward, find warrior two. Spin your back foot flat. Open the arms. Now your hips are facing the side of the room. Good. Soften the tailbone down. Same exact thing. Spread that chest nice and open. Now the hip opener part of this pose is to press that left knee wide open to the left. That's when you start to feel the hip opener. And that is the function of the asana that we're doing. It's to open your left hip. There's just things that can help you do that, like the eyes, the relaxing, all the things we talked about earlier. Good. Now you'll feel a better stretch in your inner right thigh if you straighten your right leg and sink a little deeper in your left knee. Good. And then while you're here, just accept the challenge of being still, of not wiping the sweat off your head, itching your nose, fixing your ponytail, thinking about what you're going to eat after class. All these are things that inevitably we're going to think about, but it's the resistance to those things. They will help us get a little stronger. Good. Make sure that left knee's bent nice and deep. Place the left forearm on top of your left thigh. Reach your right arm straight up to the sky. Keep opening the right chest as you inhale. Extend your right arm over the right ear as you exhale. Good. Nice job. Now keep feeling that left knee press open to the left. You can actually manually press it with your left forearm. And then feel that right pinky start to roll down a little bit, that thumb roll up. That's going to find a little more space right in that shoulder socket. Now as you reach your right arm up, commit your legs to press up. Slowly, warrior two pose. Turn your left palm up. Get ready for the sweet reverse warrior. Sweep it all the way back and enjoy the length. I know you can't see your left knee, but you can feel it. Make sure you feel the left knee opening to the left rather than tracking to the right and collapsing. Take one last inhale here. Let it go. Cartwheel both arms down to the ground, left leg back, find your flow. Core engaged as you lower slow. Cobra inhale, open the chest. Downward facing dog exhale, relax your neck. Good, and then let's move on. Good, lift your right leg back, inhale, step it all the way through as you exhale. Spin your back foot flat. Good, warrior two, circle the left arm open again behind you. Good. So here we are again. We're going to go a little bit deeper into what we just did. So get that nice deep stance, firm. It should get a little easier each time, a little more open at least. This time set your right fingertips on the floor inside the right foot. You can use a block if you'd like. And if you have really long arms or a really open hip, place the whole palm on the floor. Good. And just because you can get the whole palm on the floor doesn't mean it should be on the floor. Roll the left chest open. Extend the left arm over the left ear. And then see if you can scoop those bottom right ribs under you. Yeah, so they're shining up towards the ceiling a little more. Good, nice job. Good, breathe. Breathe all the way across that side body. Breathe into your hip. Good, and then reach your left arm up. Slowly press up, warrior two. Turn your right palm up. This time just one big breath, inhale here, and then let it go. Cartwheel the arms down to the ground. Step the right leg back, lower slow. Good, cobra inhale, open up, find that personal flow. Downward facing dog, exhale, drop your head low. Good, lift your left leg back, inhale here. Step it all the way through as you exhale. Spin your back heel flat on the ground. Warrior two, so you will circle that right arm open behind you, and you'll find that long stance. You'll spread the chest open. Good, you'll soften those upper ribs. Good, and draw the tailbone down a little bit. And then left fingers to the ground inside your left foot. Good, now if you needed to scoot the left butt out to get the hand down there, it's just a sign that you went a little too far and you probably should use a block. Open your right chest, open a little more, and then extend your right arm over the right ear, palm facing the floor. Good, and then just keep energizing here. Keep rolling that chest open. Keep breathing. Try not to get too far ahead of me since we're all going to be doing the bind in about 1 or 2 rounds. Good. Good. Nice and easy. Left hand down, right arm up. Press up to warrior two. Turn the left palm up. Inhale, reverse warrior. Sweep it all the way back. And then let it go. Both hands down to the mat. Step your left leg back. Lower down with control. Inhale, open the collarbone wide. Downward facing dog, exhale. Just take a look inside and breathe. Good, still going. Lift the right leg, inhale. Step it all the way through, exhale, back foot flat, warrior two. Circle the left arm open behind you. Good. Find your stance again. This time place your right hand on the floor outside of your right foot. Use a block if you have one. Otherwise, extend your left arm over the left ear. This is the more traditional style of the pose. It'll feel a little bit more intense. That's okay. Press that knee into your arm and roll that left chest open, best that you know how. Good. Anchor that back leg into the floor. And then without changing a thing about your legs, with raw strength, left arm up, press up warrior two. Good, now come into reverse warrior. Turn the right palm up. This time if you want a little more leverage, take your left hand, grab the wrist of your right hand, and pull that right wrist. Good, so you have a little leverage, but keep your knee and your left leg strong. Good, nice job. Getting a little longer, take one more inhale. Let it go, cartwheel the arms down to the ground as you exhale. Step the right leg back, lower down slow. Cobra, inhale, feeling that flow. Downward facing dog, exhale, let the head go. Lift your left leg back, inhale. Step it all the way through as you exhale. Spin your back heel flat on the ground. Warrior two, circle the right arm open behind you. Good, again, long stance. Find the left hand. Place it on the floor outside of the left foot or on a block. Usually it's right on the floor around the heel, maybe on the toes. You want to be able to press the knee into the arm. So usually if you can't feel that, you need to bend your left knee deeper. Open the right chest a little more, and then extend your right arm over the right ear. And sometimes there's a tendency to bunch that right shoulder blade around the ear. You want to pull it back, and as much as you pull it back, you reach through the fingers still. Good. Very nice. Like there's no end to your right hand. If you were Inspector Gadget, you would shoot that right hand right out to the 2nd Street. Good, without rushing. Right arm up, press up warrior two. Turn your left palm up, reverse warrior. If you want to find the leverage, reach up for the left wrist with the right hand, give a gentle pull. And just kind of notice, maybe you like it, maybe it's not for you today. Either way, take one last inhale for length. Let it go, both hands down. Find strength, left leg back, lower down. Good, cobra inhale, find that thoracic spine bend. Downward facing dog, exhale again. Good, take a big inhale through the nose. Open the mouth, let it go. Inhale, lift the hips and bend the knees. Step or lightly hop to the top of the mat, please. Inhale, flat spine, lengthen out. Fold in as you exhale. Good, chair pose. Bend the knees, reach up. Hands to the heart, twist to the right side, exhale. Hook your left elbow out of right knee, right thigh. Pull your heart forward. Good. Just finding a little bit of balance. If you want to go deeper and you feel open, straighten your left arm down on the outside of your right foot and reach your right arm up. Maybe even go for a bind. Sometimes I can pull it off, sometimes not. But if you want the bind, you take the right hand behind your back and you take the left hand around the back of your legs and you try to connect the hands. And maybe just because it doesn't happen today, doesn't mean it won't happen one day. Good. Use your core as you transition back to chair pose. Inhale. Switch sides as you exhale. Right elbow, tricep, outer left knee, left thigh. Pull the heart forward. Maybe straighten the right arm down, left arm up. It's kind of up to you here. See what works. Feel that right hip crease pull back. Yeah, feel the heart pull forward. And then if you want to go for that bind, it's tricky, but see what you can find. Good. Nice and easy. Back to chair pose. Inhale. Forward fold as you exhale, head to the floor. Inhale, flat spine, lengthen out. Step or hop the feet back and lower down nice and slow. Good. Cobra. Inhale, find that personal flow. Downward facing dog as you exhale, let your head go. Lift your right leg back. Inhale. Right knee, right elbow. Exhale, squeeze. Inhale, sweep the right leg back. Right knee to the left elbow, please. Inhale, sweep the right leg high. Right knee, right shoulder. Hold it there for 3. Arm balance if you want or know how for 2. Wait for my cue. In 1. Everybody right leg back. Big inhale. Step it all the way through, top of the mat. Back foot flat. Pose of the day, warrior 2. Circle that left arm open behind you. Good. Little different this time. We will go for the wrap. Right hand to the floor, inside the right foot on the mat. And drop your left hand behind your back. Wrap the inner right thigh either with your left hand or take the right hand underneath your right leg and go for the fingertips or the wrist of the left hand. I'd rather you just take the half wrap than spin the whole pose trying to get your hands to touch when they're not going to touch. And it's all about opening the left chest no matter if you have the hands together or apart. So if you can open that left chest, pull that right hip underneath you, you want to feel that edge. You want to feel a confrontational point. Last 3 breaths. Nice job. Last inhale here. Right hand down, left arm up. Non-reactively press up to warrior 2. And then straighten your right leg. Hands to the hips. Pivot your right foot in, parallel to your left. Stand up tall as you can. Take an inhale. Forward fold as you exhale. Good. Drop your hands down. Maybe grab the feet. Maybe grab your opposite elbows. Just find what works out for you here. Oh, yes. Such a sweet stretch on that lower back, the inner thighs. Yeah, and it's that breath that's going to guide you into a little deeper of a pose here. It's not going to be jamming your head to the floor. Good. Yeah, try to keep that back nice and flat. Good, nice job, guys. So if you have the feet, release the feet. Go ahead and crawl that right hand forward just until it's in front of your nose, right on that wood floor. And then reach your left arm straight up above. Yeah, prop yourself up. Some people like to be on the fingertips or a block here. Some people like to be on the palm. A lot of that depends on the length of your right arm. Good. From here, take your left hand behind your back, wrap the inner right thigh, and keep your hips nice and even. Good. Open that left chest a little bit more. And pull your heart forward, which means the shoulders draw away from those ears. And if you can soften into this pose, that's going to help tremendously. Good, nice job. Take a juicy inhale here. Slide the left hand down as you exhale. Go ahead and diligently crawl over to your right toes. And whenever you get there, you're going to spin your right toes to the front of the room. You're also going to spin onto your back toes and bend your right knee 90 degrees. Frame your right foot and come up to crescent pose, please. So as you inhale, reach your arms straight up to the sky. Good, and then bring the hands together in front of your heart center and twist to the right. Don't be in a rush to hook the elbow. Whenever you find that you can't find much more leverage, then use the elbow, prop it up on that left knee, left thigh, pull your heart forward, and then decide if you want to set the left knee down, which is a perfectly fine modification, whether it's fatigue or you can't balance in the pose right now. Good. Nice job. Now very slowly and mindfully, crescent pose isn't far away, but it takes a lot of strength to get there. Reach up. Good, if you did set your left knee down, now it's time to curl the toes and lift it up. We're going to take what's called eagle pose. Right arm underneath the left arm. Elbows stacked on top. Lift the elbows a little higher. Good, now we're starting to run out of a little juice. Let's see if we can do this. Lean forward halfway. Good, visit warrior 3 for a breath. Press onto your left toes, use your glute. Come up to warrior 3. And then it's kind of like what we did early on. Bend that right knee, come all the way up. But this time, carefully place the left leg all the way over the right. It's like you're draping it over there. If you can tuck the left toes behind the calf, do it. But don't be surprised if you can't. Lift the elbows a little higher. If you fall, no big deal. You're still getting benefits out of this. Start to fold and crunch into a tiny little ball of energy once you find your balance. Good. If you can't hook the feet or even cross the knees, just have the left foot on the ground and use the shoulder stretch. Good. Last standing pose on this side coming next. Very slowly untangle your arms. Think about what half moon looks like. Right hand to the floor, left leg shoots behind you, shoot your left arm straight up to the sky, and untangle those hips. Nice job. And if you still have a little juice left in the tank here, bend your left knee and see if you can reach back with your left hand and grab the top of your left foot, or just stay in the pose. Yeah. So even if you fall, stay with your breath. It's not about if you fall. It's more about when you fall and how you treat yourself when you do. Good, nice job. Now we're going to release that foot if you have it. Take another inhale, place your left hand down as you exhale. Now listen, start to bend your right knee and drop step your left toes to the back of the mat. Pause here into a similar pose. Reach your right arm up. Or a familiar pose that we did earlier. Good, now you have an option here to reach down with your first two fingers on the right hand and hook your big right toe. Otherwise, we're moving into side plank pose. Roll onto the outer edge of your left foot, swing the right leg back, stack the legs. You could set your left knee down here. Good. Press that left arm like a handstand so you're lifting those hips up a little higher. Good, nice job. Last inhale, release the toes if you have them. Right hand to the ground. Exhale, down dog or optional vinyasa if you want it. Good. Remember, do it slow. Keep the integrity if you're taking it. Good, nice job. We got one more pretty sweet side to go so we don't walk around funny all day. Yeah, let's go ahead and do it. So lift your left leg back as you inhale. Now it's going to be left knee, left elbow as you exhale, squeeze. Good, inhale, sweep your left leg back. And then visit the right elbow, twist it across, please. Inhale, sweep it high to the sky. Left knee, left shoulder. Can you squeeze and hold it there for 3? And wait for me, arm balance if you want or know how for 2. Wait for 1. Inhale, sweep your left leg back. And then step it all the way through. Nicely done. Set your feet up for warrior 2. Back foot flat circle and windmill that right arm open behind you. Yeah. Now we get to go into that pretty sweet bind. Left hand to the ground on the inside of that left foot. Keep that left hip under. Drop the right hand behind the back. And if you can wrap the inner left thigh, do it. Now, if you're real tight, that right hand's not going to go anywhere, but open your right chest. Just open that right chest no matter what. Good. As long as you're opening that right chest, you're going to feel something pretty sweet. It might not feel pretty sweet now. It'll feel sweet later for sure. Good. Pulling upwards on that left leg. Give it 3 more deep breaths. Good. And then take one last inhale here. Bring the left hand down to the floor. Good. Reach your right arm up. Slowly press up. Warrior 2. Good. Nice release here. Straighten the left leg. Hands to the hips. Pivot your left foot in parallel to the right. Good. This time it's called reverse prayer. So palms together, fingers point up. Good. If that's a little too much, tap your fists together. That'll be the same stretch. Good. Stand up tall. Inhale. Slowly fold in as you exhale. Good. Now don't be surprised if you can't fold as far as you folded last time. The shoulders might keep you from that. Good. Either way. Breathe into those inner, outer arms. Breathe into what you feel, the shoulder tips. And you know, they say that the shoulders and the hips carry more tension than any other place in the body. Good. So you just relax into it, do your best. Good. From here, you're going to let those hands slide down to the ground. 2 options here. Option 1, go upside down, headstand or handstand. Option 2, crawl the hands way out in front of you like a downward facing dog onto the wood floor. Don't be shy. Crawl them way out there. Good. Yeah, press the floor away if you're in the stretch. So, yeah, really strengthen those arms. You know, and obviously the headstand's something you don't want to try if you got people around you and you don't know how to do it. But if you're, at home practicing alone, it should be okay. Good. And then everybody take your time if you're upside down. Now, if your hands are way out in front of you, crawl them back a little bit. It's going to be the left hand on the floor, right underneath the face, usually right about the wood floor. Reach your right arm straight up and find your twist. Find it from your core. Keep your left leg pretty heavy here. And maybe take your right hand behind your back, place it in your left thigh, and roll that right chest open a little more. So you got a shoulder stretch, a chest opener, a twist. But guess what? It's still more about your breath than any of those things. Pretty sweet. Take one last inhale here and slide the right hand down to the ground. And go ahead and crawl the hands over to your left toes. Once you get there, then you can start to set up. Every little movement takes care. Spin the left toes to the front of the room. Also spin onto the right toes. Frame your bent left knee so the hands are on the floor. Crescent pose. Inhale, sweep your arms up. Good. Now get tall as you can, all the way from the lower belly through the fingertips. Take an inhale, hands to the heart. Twist to the left as you exhale. Wrap the right arm, outer left knee. And then decide, maybe you set the right knee down. Usually you don't make those decisions until you're there because you're so present-minded. If you listen closely enough, the past is downloaded into your body already, so you don't need to think about the past. You can feel it. And since the future is predicated on the present moment, then it makes no sense to think about the future. Just be here, be now, make the decisions as they come. Good. Now using the strength, squeeze those inner thighs towards each other. Crescent pose, reach your arms up. Now if your knee's down, lift the right knee up. So now you have a little more juice in the leg. That was probably a smart move. Left arm underneath right. Remember this, eagle arms. Lift your elbows up to find the stretch. Send the hands a little bit forward. Now you're going to pull the lower belly in and lean forward halfway. I like to press onto the tip of my right toes. Use my left glute to come up to warrior three, kind of like we did earlier. Find the extension first. And then bend that left knee, come all the way up, kind of like we rehearsed. Drape the right leg all the way over the left leg, which is bent. If you tuck the toes, great. Don't get OCD on me if you can't. Lift the elbows high. Squeeze the inner thighs towards each other. Inhale. Crunch into that little tiny ball of energy as you exhale. 3 deep breaths. Good. Don't worry if you fall. For 2. In 1, untangle the arms. Remember, left hand down in one fluid motion. Shoot the right leg back. Reach the right arm up. Half moon. So if your hand didn't land a foot in front of the toes to the left a few inches, then you can adjust it there. You can always adjust. Energize that right leg, and if you have a little juice left, feel free to try to bend the right knee, Chapasana. Grab the top of your right foot with your right hand. Pull the right heel a little closer in. Arch the spine. But keep those hips stacked, or it's not half moon anymore. The function of the asana is to open the hips. It's the left hip that's opening, although it's the right one peeling open on top of it. Good. If you have the foot, slowly release. Take one more inhale. Both hands down to the ground as you exhale. Square your hips. Put a soft bend in your left knee. And drop step your right toes to the back of the mat, please. Good. Right hand down, left arm up, back to that familiar pose. And if you want to go a little trickier, hook the big left toe, left fingers. First 2. Roll onto the outer edge of your right foot no matter where you are. Swing the left leg back. If you're nursing an injury in your right arm, or this is just making shit hit the fan, then set the right knee down on the floor. Good. Extend your left arm over the left ear if you want a little more. And take 3 deep breaths. 2. Left arm up. Last inhale. Come into plank pose. Optional vinyasa. Exhale. Inhale, open up. And then downward facing dog. Exhale, breathe. Nice job. Everybody, take a big inhale through the nose. Stick the tongue out, let it go. Lift your right leg, pigeon pose. Step the right foot through. You want the right foot on the left side of the mat and the right knee on the right side of the mat. Try to get your right leg parallel with the front of the mat, the right shin. Slide your left knee back, pull the heart forward. And then fold in. You're welcome to lay on your back here, especially if you're nursing an injury. And just see what you can let go of. Now it's time to work softly There's a lot of strength in working softly. Yeah, but it is the opposite of strength. Take 5 more deep breaths. And from here, take your time. Come back to your palms. Lean a little bit into your right leg. Swing the left leg around to the front of the mat. Place the soles of your feet together. Sit up nice and tall. Hands under the feet. Take an inhale here. Maybe fold in as you exhale if you have the room to fold in. And you can always place the hands behind your back too to help you. And slowly release. Good pigeon pose, other side. Swing the right leg behind you. You take the option that suits you. And stay with your breath. See what you can let go of. Last 5 deep breaths. Everybody slowly come back up. This time press the palms into the floor. Lean into your left leg. Swing the right leg around to the front of the mat. Good. Flex the feet. Reach the arms up. Take an inhale. Forward fold as you exhale. Last seated stretch. Enjoy the length. Enjoy the warmth. Paschimottanasana. Beautiful lower back stretch, hamstring stretch. You'll take one more inhale and lay down on your back as you exhale. Last couple little poses before we are on our way to relaxation. Let's do one bridge pose, feet on the ground, hips width apart. Press the feet down, lift your hips up, and take your hands underneath your back. So feet underneath the knees, directly. Good. You could either walk the elbows in a little bit, shoulders underneath you. You could take this into a deeper back bend if you'd like to. Shoulders, hands down behind the shoulders. Fingers point forward, press all the way up. Crown of the head usually first to set yourself up. And then arms towards straight, legs towards straight. Your last 5 deep breaths. Oh, beautiful. Last inhale here. Release down as you exhale. Bend the knees. Happy baby pose. Reach out. Grab the outer edges of your feet. Plug the knees down. Maybe rock a little side to side if it feels good. If not, just stay still. Good. Wide straddle splits. Take the hands either to the inner knees, to the outer heels, or hook the big toes. First 2 fingers. Just find what works for you here. If it feels straight, it is straight. That's the definition of straight by our standards. Never want to force anything that the body's not quite ready for. And then slowly release. Knees together. Drop the knees to the left. Cross them if you want to go deeper. Reach the right arm to the right. Find that final spinal twist. Good. Any remaining tension in the body, see if you can let that go. And any nooks or crannies left unturned, untouched, try to soften them now. Good. Come back to center and switch. Untangle the legs if you cross them, and tangle them back up. Otherwise, drop the knees to the right. Open your left arm to the left. Come back to the center line. Set up for that sweet Savasana pose. Hug the knees into the chest. Squeeze it all in. So take a big inhale. Hold your breath. For 5. Squeeze it all in for 4. 3, 2, 1, 0. Let it all go. Savasana. Final resting pose. You guys made it. Now relax everything in the body. And nothing left to do, but everything left to be. See how deep you can slip into Shavasana and rest your body.